So in this series of talks, we're looking at things that leaders should do to be great leaders in their business. And there are 4 things I want to go through. And the one we're talking about in this little video series is Enrol. So, Jim Collins famously said, how do we get the right people on the bus? Well, it's one thing getting the right people on the bus. It's another thing with what you do with them when they're on the bus, but getting the right people involved in your business. So the 3 things I want to talk about when we come to talk about enrolling people in the business are purpose, strategy, and one team. So let's look at purpose first. Do people really understand what this business is about? Are people really engaged at an emotional level of what this business is about? Simon Sinek has done a great load of work around about this with his Golden Circle videos and really discussing the why of a business, and they're great ones to go and reference if you want to find out more information on it. But people understand what you care for, what you're all trying to achieve. Because once people have that and are emotionally bought into it, it just makes things much, much easier. And your job as a leader is to make sure that that happens. Think back in the story, one of the favourite stories, I might get it slightly wrong, but go with me, where JFK was at NASA and was doing a tour of NASA. And it was a kind of meet and greet thing. And he met a chap in the corridor and he said, what are you doing here? And the man said back to him, well, I'm helping to put a man on the moon. That was pretty clear on what they were trying to do. But that man was actually, I think, a cleaner or a janitor. But how nice to have that commonality of purpose and what they were there for. And actually, egos didn't matter. It didn't matter who you were in that organisation. Everyone was of equal value, all striving for the same thing. So how clear are we in our businesses of how clear the rest of the team are on what the purpose is and why we're there to do it? Because once we've looked at purpose, then we want to look at strategy. So how are we going to do the thing we set out to do? And do you know, does each of your team members know what part they play in that strategy and how they all fit in together to try and achieve the overall purpose of the organisation? Because really what we want is one team. We don't want silos. As businesses get bigger and bigger, teams get bigger, and often what happens is they go into silos and they don't even talk to each other, never mind know what the common purpose is of the organisation. So we want one team. We want everyone pushing together, all aiming for the same thing. And I guess, a good question to ask is, how well do we do that currently in our business? If we were to ask any one of our people we work with what the business was aiming for, would they all say the same thing? Do they all work together and work collaboratively? Because we want people moving from being passive passengers in the business. We don't want that. We want them to have passion about what the business is about and where it's going to. So how well do we do that currently with our leadership team?